Hi ladies and gentlemen, it's a little windy. I'm shooting with the Rode Wireless Go and a Sony ZV-1F, and I am arm's length away. I'm 6 feet tall, so that means my hand is 3 feet. Now I am with electronic image stabilization off, and what we're going to do is turn it on so you can see the crop factor on. You got it, a 20mm lens. There are a number of things we can do as well to the original clip. Use Catalyst browser and crop in and see what that looks like. On the next video, we're going to do a 10-second video talk of Catalyst browser. We are going to be using Catalyst browser. We're going to do the maximum crop just to see what it looks like with the 20mm lens 3 feet from the camera. Test 1, 2, 3. We have image stabilization on, EIS, active. This is a test to see what it looks like before Catalyst browser is put on the next clip. EIS on with Catalyst browser. We see the difference in the crop. We can look at all 4 clips at 3 feet from the camera. Hey, I'm Fish. Thank you very much for joining me. Number one complaint on Sony, the screen of the ZV-1F is impossible to see at all during the light. I apologize for my glasses interfering with the camera. Now, in the background is the city. You see one of the tallest buildings that they built. And you're not going to be able to see it zoomed in with the ZV-1F or the ZV-1 or the ZV-1 Mark II. But what you're going to see is with the CyberShot HX90V that has a 30 times optical zoom plus clear image zoom that allows you to see a lot more than all 3 of these cameras put together. Look at the building straight ahead. Look at the white, the triangle. Just look towards the right. You see a small building and a tall building. On a nice clear day, you can definitely see that. And that's where this camera and the viewfinder zooming in fully to get as close as possible. Hit the record and I zoom in as clear as I can, 30 times optical zoom and more. What does that look like to you? It almost looks like a tower. One of the things I like about the camera, the HX90, it has optical image stabilization. So when I do my walks, you bet I don't have any jitters like the ZV-1F, the ZV-1 Mark II, and I'm most sure the ZV-1 may not have the jitters because it has the optical image stabilization plus active, just like the HX90 may have in the cameras. So why would Sony go from a CyberShot camera, which is a nice vlogger's camera, to the 1F, and the 1 Mark II that's coming out, the E10 and other models similar to the CyberShot, and give us electronic image stabilization, plastic bodies, and so on? Is it to cut the cost? Is it to go backwards and to offer us less to give us more and more and more down the road? On the ZV-1, they're just basically giving us an 18mm from a 24mm. Do we ask for an 18mm? Or do we want something that will be a 20mm with the same exact, you got it, low level light and f1.8 aperture of the camera? I'm no pro on this at all. This is just my thoughts. Whoa, Look at that. I'm trying to zoom in on the plane. And I got a beautiful shot. Delta. Wow, that was a beautiful shot through this camera, grabbing the shot. So I'm wondering for my needs that I should look at what? An RX model, the top of the line, that has the viewfinder. I hope it has a 3.5mm adapter. Well, Sony's announcing other cameras. Do we jump on the bandwagon now for the ZV-1 Mark II? Or do we go for the A6700 that's just been announced? I want something like the ZV-1F, the ZV-1. Do I go for the ZV-1? That's going to be the same as the 1F, but with autofocus and the optical image stabilization. That kind of tells me the right choice. The one thing I didn't do here is raise the maximum decibel levels and go get my wind muff so you can hear the natural sounds of Sony. You have to raise it to the max and you must put the wind muff on. Does the ZV-1F have those 3 capsules? But it doesn't have the omnidirectional, the backwards, and the front mic, but it has all these effects that I don't care for on the Mark II. The one gentleman did a great job giving his thoughts out loud, and I want you to check him out. Give a nice shout out to Scott's Review. Excellent gentleman indeed, loves the Sony, makes a lot of sense, and I have to agree with him. Do I sit back and wait for more reviews of real people coming in after June 15th to jump on the Sony Vloggers camera ZV-1 Mark II? I would love to sit up here, talk all day about the Sony Vloggers camera ZV-1 Mark II. I also love to sit here, watch the planes come in, pass by as they go by. There's a lot of things I love. I love to get a new camera once again to update my ZV-1F, but it's not going to replace it for the things I do. For the things I do, I sit by the table and I do reviews. The camera does just fine for my needs. The camera doesn't jitter all the time. It may jitter just a little bit, go in and out of focus because of the continuous fixed focus autofocus, and that's where the autofocus is pretty good. Bring back the Sony CyberShot, bring back the electronic viewfinder, bring back the zoom in the lens, offer us a 3.5mm adapter. Look at that bad boy come in. Man, if I had a lot of zoom on the ZV-1 Mark II, I'll be able to capture that real nice and close and do tracking.